In this lecture, we will discuss general feature of motion. In previous lecture, we have already discussed the equation of motion of an orbit when our force is a central force and which is a conservative force. So, the total energy of a particle in central force is given by equation number 24 that we have already discussed. This total energy is half m r dot square, that is half m v square, which is kinetic energy, and this remaining two terms gives us the potential energy, which is L square upon twice m r square plus v of r. In this potential is actual potential energy, and this term is nothing but centrifugal energy. The term half m r dot square or half mv square, this is radial kinetic energy. This is also type of potential energy. This is actual potential energy, and overall the sum of kinetic and potential energy is nothing but the total energy. So this energy can reduce in one-dimensional motion in r. So to reduce it, we have to define effective potential energy that we are going to define as. So this effective potential energy is defined as, it is denoted by V dash of R. So the symbol to denote effective potential energy is V dash of R, and this is actual potential energy and this is centrifugal energy, because effective potential energy means what? Total potential energy or the overall potential energy, which is sum of these two energies, that is actual potential energy and centrifugal energy. So this effective potential energy V dash of R is defined as V of R plus L square upon twice m r square. Now, by using this effective potential energy in the equation of total energy, we will find this term, that is radial kinetic energy. That means I have to find half m r dot square. So to find half m r dot square, this term, instead of this term, I will put here V dash of R, that is effective potential energy, and I will take this term on LHS. It will become E minus V dash of R, which will be equals to half m r dot square. Therefore, half m r dot square will be equal to, by substitution of effective potential energy over here, we will get E minus V dash of R. So this is nothing but the radial kinetic energy. Now let me call this as equation number 31a, and this equation 31 I will write in the form V dash of R is equals to, first I will write centrifugal term, that is L square upon twice m r square plus V of R, and this I will call as 31b. I will need these two equations. Now here, if we differentiate equation 31b with respect to R, let me differentiate equation 31b with respect to R. What we will get? This differentiation will be, I will skip this term that I am denoting as a function of R for the simplicity, for my convenience, but you have to keep it in mind that it is always function of R. Potential will be always function of R because our forces are central force. Okay, so now differentiate equation 31 with respect to R. I will get dV dash upon dr is equals to, first let me write this derivative because it is easier than this one. So here I will get dV by dr plus, now what will be derivative of L square upon twice m r square with respect to dr? This will be, now here this L square upon twice m will be constant, and we will be have d by dr of this r raised to minus 2. So derivative is the formula is nx raised to n minus 1. For this, we will have the derivative L square upon twice m as it is, and what is here n is minus 2 and it's raised to nx raised to n minus 1. That means this minus 2 into r raised to minus 2 minus 1, that is r raised to minus 3, and this raised to minus 3 I can write upon r cube, right? So power is negative, I can write 1 by r cube. So that this derivative I will get L square, it will become now negative. So this derivative will be negative since we are having here minus 2 upon minus 2 L square upon 2m r cube. So this will be derivative of this term. This 2 will get cancelled with this 2 and I will multiply by minus 1 to this equation. So by multiplying minus 1, what I will get? Minus dv dash upon dr is equals to minus dv by dr. Now minus minus, it will become plus L square upon mr cube. Why I multiply by minus 1? Because I know that my forces are conservative force. So since F is conservative, I can use its definition as it can be written as a gradient, negative gradient of potential energy. That is, F can be written as minus dV upon dr. So I will use that definition over here for these both terms. So here I am having V dash. Now since force is conservative, I will use this definition over here and I will get not minus F of R, and here I will use dash because here effective potential. So F dash of R will be equals to F of R plus L square upon mr cube. Let me call this as equation number 32. Now in these terms, now this is actual potential, this is centrifugal potential, and this is effective potential. So corresponding forces will be effective force, central force, and the centrifugal force, or this is also called as a actual force. So these are the definitions which are come from the corresponding potential for forces. So I have written the corresponding terms which are named as effective force, central force, and centrifugal force. This nomenclature comes from these corresponding potentials. Now if we consider that this central force is attractive in nature, if force is attractive, I have to take it negative. This we have already discussed. And if force, I have to represent it as a repulsive force, then that force is positive. This we have already discussed. So if I am considering force is attractive, I have to consider it negative, and I am taking type of force as a gravitational force. So we know the definition of gravitational force. Gravitational force is defined as it is inversely proportional to the square of a distance. So this is inverse force law. This is also called as inverse force law for the gravitational force. So this is definition of gravitational force, and since I am considering it as attractive force, I will get here negative sign. Now if I have to remove this proportionality constant, I must take some constant of proportionality which I am going to call as K. So here to remove that proportionality constant, I will take, this is function of, always function of R, since it is central force. So F of R will be equal to now minus K upon R square, where this K is always a positive constant. So this K I am taking as a positive constant, and this is now our gravitational force, where we will have negative sign since I have taken it as a attractive force. So let me write this equation on the next page. and I have called that equation as equation number 33. Now here from this central force I can find the potential. How we can find potential? Since my force is conservative, it will follow this property that we have already discussed, that we can write it as negative gradient of its corresponding potential. So from this I can find this potential. So I have to rearrange this f of r such that I will take this negative sign and dr on LHS, so that I will get minus f of r dr is equals to dv. Now we will integrate this and we will get v of r. So here if we substitute this force as minus k by r square, and here already negative sign, again in f we are having negative sign, so this will become minus minus plus, and this integral will be v of r. So integral dv will be v of r. So this integral will be v of r, which will be equal to, now here we will substitute f of r as minus k by r square, and this minus, this integral will become now plus k by r square dr. Now here we will use formula integral x raised to n dx. This integration is calculated as x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So now in our case we are having 1 by r square. That means we can write here r raised to minus 2 dr. This will be equal to, so this integration will be equal to, now here x raised to n plus 1, so also r raised to n plus 1. Now n, now here our n is minus 2, so minus 2 plus 1 we will get r raised to minus 1 upon again n plus 1, that is minus 2 plus 1, that is minus 1. So this I can write as minus 1 by r, right? So this integration will be equals to minus k upon r, which is our v of r. Now this v of r, that is actual potential, is minus k by r. So we have to substitute this in equation number 31b. So what was our equation 31b? Equation 31b was v dash of r is nothing but L square upon twice mr square plus v of r. Here we have to put minus k by r, so that we will get, here we will get v dash of r is equals to, v dash of r is equals to minus k by r plus L square upon twice m r square, right? So let me call this as equation number 34. This is effective potential. Now by using this equation of effective potential, we will study the variation of effective potential with respect to r. And this variation of effective potential with respect to r is studied graphically in better way. So to study this, we have to plot a graph of v dash of r versus r. So I have to plot here v dash of r versus r. Now here, let's say this is our origin. Now in v dash we are having two terms, minus k by r and plus L square upon twice m r square. So there is addition of these two terms. First I will plot this minus k by r. So by plotting k by r, minus k by r, it will, since it having negative sign, it will be in this quadrant, and it is minus k by r. So its nature will be like this. Okay, and second term is L square upon twice m r square. So that term will be having nature in this way. Now since v dash of r is addition of these two, by adding these two terms, now this dotted line represent L square upon twice m r square, and this represent minus k by R, and addition of these two will gives us effective potential. So by adding these two terms, we will get the plot of V dash of R versus R. So that addition will be having this nature. Let me draw it over here. So this is the nature of the addition of these two terms, which is our V dash of R, that is effective potential, and this point will represent the minimum potential energy, that is V dash minimum. Now this is effective potential energy. Now we will consider that particle will have moving with four different energies. We will consider four cases. So these four cases are, so we will consider motion of particle which will having four different energy. We will study four different cases for energy. So first case is E1 greater than 0. Second is E2 greater than 0. Third is E3 less than 0. And fourth, we will consider same case, that is E4 less than 0 with energy which will have value which will be equal to V dash of minimum, that is minimum effective energy. So these four cases we are going to discuss. For these four cases, what will be our equation of path, or what will be the path followed by the particle, that we are going to discuss. We will correlate these energies with our equation of path, which is given by equation number 30. Now let's consider our first case, which was E1 greater than 0. So case 1, E1 greater than 0. So for this, let me consider energy which is greater than 0. So now here we are having only potential energy, but we are discussing about the total energy. So total energy is given by kinetic energy plus potential energy, that is T plus V is nothing but total energy. Now our graph is potential energy, that is effective potential energy with respect to R. So this is variation of potential energy with R, and we will discuss this in terms of kinetic energy. So first we are having E1 which is greater than 0. So this E1 greater than 0 will have somewhere value which is above the 0, because it is sum of kinetic and potential energy. Here we are having only potential. So let me consider this value of E1 somewhere over here, that is E1 greater than 0. Now this intersection of straight line E1 equals to constant. This is E1 which is equals to constant with potential energy curve. Now this will be at R equals to R1. If I put a perpendicular on R, here let me call this point as R1. So this intersection of straight line E1 equal to constant with potential energy curve will be at R equals to R1. At this point, kinetic energy is 0, because here we are having the total energy as kinetic energy plus potential energy. But since our kinetic energy is constant, so that to satisfy this equation, our total energy is constant, so that to satisfy this equation, potential energy, or it will be now the kinetic energy which will be now negative. So for R less than R1, so let me write at point R equals to R1, kinetic energy will be negative. So at this point, that is R equals to R1, now here kinetic energy will be negative, so that to keep this equation constant, means to satisfy this equation, kinetic energy will become negative or 0. Kinetic energy should be 0. I am extremely sorry. Here this T should be 0, because at this point the total energy, that is E, is T plus V. Now our potential or E is constant. At this point the kinetic energy will be 0. For r less than r1, this v dash will be greater than e1. So, for r less than r1, when v dash exits e1, for this, again, now here, this was my mistake, kinetic energy is 0. Now here, kinetic energy will be negative. So, for r equals to r1, kinetic energy will be 0. Now let me talk in terms of kinetic energy. So we will get E minus V. Now since here E is 0, E is constant, kinetic energy will be 0. So that to keep this equation satisfied. And in second case, for r less than r1, means for this region in which r is less than r1, kinetic energy will be negative. Again, the reason is same, that it must satisfy this equation. Okay, now here, since we are saying that V dash is greater than E, that is potential is greater than E, our kinetic energy will become negative because this term is larger and we are subtracting from smaller term. This difference will become negative. So this is the supporting reason for kinetic energy becoming negative. And the corresponding, since kinetic energy is negative, that is half m v square, the corresponding velocity of the particle will be imaginary, that is velocity will be imaginary. Okay, so value of velocity is imaginary. Now clearly particle can never come closer than r1 since kinetic energy is negative, and this is lower bound. On the other hand, there is no upper limit to the possible value of r because the potential is here increasing. So there is no upper limit to possible value of r, so that this orbit is not bounded orbit. So the path of a particle in which particle is moving, that orbit of a particle is unbounded or not bounded. Particle having any arbitrary energy, even which is greater than 0, that approaches to center from infinity. So for this case, how particle will move, it will approach to center and from the infinity. So from infinity it will come to the center, and when it reaches to distance of closest approach, means maximum closest distance, when it will occupy that distance, then the particle will turn around and again it will reach to particle. So at the same time, the distance between E and V on the plot is nothing but half m v square, that is E minus V is nothing but kinetic energy, and that distance is half m v square, and it is function of r. Also the distance between V dash and V is nothing but L square upon twice m r square, which is given by equation number 31b. So this is the distance between V and V dash, or V dash and V, the corresponding distance. Now let's discuss the second case in which energy is equal to 0. Now if energy is equal to 0, this will be on the x-axis, that is r-axis. So this is our case when energy will be 0. So here our E2 is equals to 0. Now what about the point when, at which point it will comes to turning point, that is this is our now point where r is equals to now r2. Now if energy of particle is 0, we again have the similar case of E greater than 0. The motion is unbounded, that is not bounded motion. So whole discussion will be same as that of E1 greater than 0, that is constant energy. So here motion is unbounded, and particle will have turning point at r equals to r2. Now similar to this case, particle will go to infinity, but its radial velocity fall continuously and it will become 0 at infinity. Okay, so these two cases are similar to each other. Here turning point is at r equals to r2. Now our third case is E2 is equals to 0. Now before moving towards the third case, let me define the path for this first case. Now for this first case, we have discussed that what will happen at these 2 points and what are the equations for kinetic energy and for both the cases and difference between potential energy. So if we substitute all these quantities in equation number 30, we will get the equation of a path or the orbit with which our particle is moving. So by following this discussion in equation number 30, because observe this equation, you are having total energy and potential energy, difference between total energy and potential energy. Therefore we discuss it as E minus V in terms of kinetic energy. That's why we discuss for kinetic energy. So here our particle's orbit will be unbounded, and by substituting these values of kinetic energy as 0 and negative value, here the path followed by the particle will be the path of the hyperbola. So this path in this case, let me write it in this box, it will be hyperbola. So for this second case, now this is only the case. So for this second case, we will have the path which is little bit different than hyperbola, that is parabola, but these are unbounded orbits. So these are the paths for first and second case. Now move towards the third case. Our third case is E3, which is less than 0. This is our third case. Now if E3 is less than 0, this means our energy will be on the negative energy axis. So let me consider this energy over here. That is our third case, E3 less than 0, that is negative energy. If E3 is less than 0, then particle will have lower bound at, now here we will have 2 bounds because the energy is cutting our plot in 2 points. That is, first point will be this one and second point will be this one. So let me call this as R3 and this point as R4. So particle will have lower bound at R3 and upper bound at R4, right? Because lower value of R is at R3 and upper value of R is at R4. This is less, R3 is less than R4. So this is lower bound and this is upper bound. So the region in this region kinetic energy will be positive. That is, in the region particle, now here our particle is bounded between R3 and R4. So the region in which our particle is bounded is E3 less than or equal to R less than or equal to R4. So particle is bounded between R3 and R4, and in this region kinetic energy will be positive. Why kinetic energy will be positive? Because here our total energy is negative. Since now this E is negative and potential is now higher than this, so potential, this overall this difference will become positive. That is, in this region our kinetic energy will be positive, and outside the region kinetic energy will be negative. Thus orbit will be bounded with R3 less than R less than or equal to R4 for total energy E3. Now these two turning points R3 and R4 are called as apsidal distances. This is the term nomenclature of the turning point R3 and R4. Now here orbit can be closed orbit or it can be open. So it is not necessary that orbit is open or closed, but these are bounded. Means orbit can be open or closed, but it is bounded, and it is bounded between two circles of radius R3 and R4. Now let's discuss how it is bounded. So we will have two circles for which our orbit or path of a particle is bounded. First we will have R3. Let's say this is R3 which is less than R4. So I have to draw the second circle which will be having radius greater than R3. So this is now my R4 and this is the second circle in which our particle is bounded. Now it is not necessary that path will be closed or open. For R3 the path will be, now here if we discuss these cases and if we put our discussion in equation 30, we will get elliptical orbit. Therefore the path of the orbit is ellipse. So for the region when our radius is R3, the particle will have the closed elliptical orbit. So this is the first path followed by the particle which is closed elliptical orbit. And this for second, let's say now our particle is going from R3 to R4, that is second turning point, then this will become it is not necessarily closed. Now it will become the open path in this way. So this is now our second case. So this is the path followed by the orbit. Now let's discuss the fourth case, that is E4 less than 0 and it is equals to E4 equals to V dash minimum. So our fourth case is this case. So here this is our E4 less than 0 where this E4 is equals to V dash of minimum. So for E4 this is the case which is less than 0 and this value will be equal to V dash minimum, that is minimum value of effective potential. So for this fourth case again E4 is equals to constant this straight line and this will be tangential or perpendicular to V dash curve, and this curve will be at R equals to R0. Now let me show that R0 point. Now here this is the V minimum, V dash minimum. So if you draw perpendicular to R, this will be our value at which our turning point is now R equals to R0. Here I am denoting by R0. So here the curve will tangential at R equal to R0 to V dash, and at point R equal to R0 the potential energy is now minimum. Now here potential energy is minimum. Again reason is same. You have to satisfy that equation T is equals to E minus V, or total energy equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Now if any function is minimum, then in mathematics we have already discussed that to find minima of any function, what we do, we equate its derivative with equal to 0. Now our potential, that is V dash of R, is function of R. So I have to equate its derivative with respect to R to 0, that is d V dash by dr equal to 0. Now by equating this to 0, we will get the minimum, the potential value, minimum value of the potential energy. So to find the minimum potential energy, we will use this equation. Now see here, we are already having this differentiation. Now we will equate it to 0. So let me write this equation on our corresponding page, so that here I can write d instead of dv dash. Now since, let me write it dv dash upon dr, we will use this equation dv dash upon dr equals to dv by dr minus L square upon mr cube. So I will require this equation, that's why I have written it over here. Now here at r equals to r naught, mass is converted into, let's say, reduced mass. Here we are using reduced mass. So we have already discussed the concept of reduced mass, where m is replaced with mu, so that instead of this m I will use here mu, and I am equating it to 0. That means I will substitute this over here, so that I will get 0 is equals to dv upon dr minus L square upon mu r cube. Now here, since our force is conservative, we can use this definition that F is equals to minus dv upon dr. Now you are very familiar with this, and this will be at r equals to r naught. Now here, since our force is conservative, I will take this term over here. I will get minus dv upon dr is equals to minus L square upon mu r cube, and instead of this I can put f of r. So that I will get f of r is equals to minus L square upon mu. Now at r equals to r naught means r naught cube, or else this can be written as minus L square upon mu r cube. Now since we have defined angular momentum as mr square theta dot, this is well known to you. Now here we will replace mass with reduced mass, that is mu r square theta dot. Now here what we will do, we will use this angular momentum in we will use value of the L square. We will put L square as mu square r to the power theta r to the power 4 theta dot square, so that we will get here f of r is equals to, instead of this L square we will substitute this value. So we will get minus mu square r to the power 4 theta dot square upon this mu as it is, and the remaining term is what now? Here we will substitute this. So remaining term is r cube. Now if we cancel the common terms, so here mu will get cancelled and r is also getting cancelled. So what are remaining term? That is, here minus mu will remain. Then on the numerator we will have r and theta dot square as it is. So this force F of r, which is equals to minus mu r theta dot square, this force is a particular type of force which is called as centripetal force. So this type of force is known as centripetal force, and to obtain circular motion around the center of force, this centripetal force is necessary. So under this condition, the path of the particle is circular orbit. Means for this condition of energy, the particle will follow the path which is known as a circular path. So we will get here circular orbit. So path of a particle is circular orbit. So this is all about the 4 different cases of energy and the general features of the motion.